Jeremy. Let's do Jeremy.
Welcome, Arkansas Symphony Orchestra supporters, musicians, community members, media, those that have joined us in person and online to hear this important announcement about the future of the Arkansas Symphony Orchestra and this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to positively impact generations of Arkansans. My name is Christina Littlejohn, and I'm the CEO of the Arkansas Symphony Orchestra. I am humbled to be here representing the ASO, Board of Directors, Board of Advisors, Orchestra, Administrative Team, and Guild. I could not be prouder than to be part of this incredible organization. In 1966, Stella, Boyle, Smith, and community supporters started the ASO to connect, enrich, inspire, and advance Arkansas through the power of music, to enhance our city's quality of life, to employ professional musicians and add to the economic development of the state, and provide music education opportunities for children and adults. This time they also started the ASO Youth Orchestra so that children from across our state could play together and be with other young musicians. Over the years, ASO has continually added to its service to the state. Today, the ASO is the #1 employer of professional Arkansas performing artists, the #1 employer. We perform for over 165,000 Arkansans in every corner of the state, including Russellville, Crossett, Hot Springs, Pine Bluff, West Helena, Paragould, Hamburg, the list goes on and on, but of course Little Rock and Central Arkansas, our home base. ASO is the leading music educator for the state for string education. ASO has 3 youth ensembles with students from 33 different communities in our state. We teach violin in at least 6 elementary schools, including Boyle Elementary School. We teach violin and cello in our headquarters through the Sturgis Music Academy. We have bucket band instruction in after-school city sites. We perform children's concerts for thousands of children's students each year. And you got to see for the last half hour some videos of our kids. 25 years ago, ASO moved into Burn Hall, so its youth orchestras would have a place to rehearse. 25 years ago, we moved into Burn Hall. 5 years ago, the orchestra adopted key imperatives to best serve Arkansas in the 21st century. Yes, this is Burn Hall behind me. 5 years ago, we adopted key imperatives. These included doubling the number of people served, continuing growth in music education programming for children and adults, being accessible to all Arkansans, retaining and recruiting excellent musicians to live in our state so that they can continue to teach and perform in our concerts, perform at weddings, churches, celebrations, July 4th, and much, much more. But to accomplish this, ASO needs a music center. We need to get out of this space that we're currently in. We need a place that's accessible to our city and state community members. The youth orchestra alone serves kids from 33 communities. We need a place that's accessible for people of all ages. The ASO has a community orchestra of volunteer musicians, and recently we had a cellist that was 104 in the community orchestra, and she was trying to walk up our steps, because right now, in order to get into our building, you have to walk up steps. And that's a lot for a cello player. Sorry, I play the cello, it's my instrument, which you'll see cello shows up quite a bit here. We need a place where our current number of students can take private lessons, group lessons, rehearse, video record themselves for auditions, and more. And in the current space, there is no way. We can't really serve the kids that we have right now, and much less grow and serve more children and adults. So years ago, a group of community members, community volunteers and leaders, volunteered to find the right opportunity for the future of ASO. We searched and searched and searched and searched. And then one day, Heifer International suggested we look at their land, and we found the perfect spot. We found the spot for the new ASO Stella Boyle Smith Music Center. Here you can see the rendering of the new ASO Stella Boyle Smith Music Center. And our architects are WER, and here today is David Sargent and Benjamin Gregory representing WER Architects, and we're so excited. That will be our new home. And then after the press conference, you can see where that land will be from here. It's just right there behind me. We are so excited. With Heifer, children can have field trips To all three organizations, with the Clinton Library and Heifer International, programs will be accessible to students and adults traveling from all over. We'll have room for bucket bands, children's choirs, lots and lots of cellos and violin students. People can walk over after work for quartet and brass quintet performances, like the Quapaw String Quartet. The possibilities are endless. Generations of Arkansans will be positively impacted because of the work of our leaders and our supporters today. The shovel in the ground number is $9 million. Our goal is to raise $9 million to build this building and for the organization to stay financially stable. And so to date, we are so excited because $5.4 million, or 60% of that goal, has been raised. Thank you so much to all of the individuals, foundations, companies, and the state of Arkansas for contributing to this transformative project for Arkansas. Thank you to our fundraising committee chair, Brigida Gardner and Gus Fratzenis. And I am particularly grateful for the vision and determination of Stella Boyle Smith for starting the Arkansas Symphony Orchestra. I love getting to hear stories from Gus on how Stella used her resources and influence to build ASO for our state over so many years. And I could not be happier to introduce Mike Mayton, trustee of the Stella Boyle Smith Trust, as our next speaker.
Thank you, Christina. Welcome and good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here for what I think is probably the most important morning and the most exciting moment in the history of the Arkansas Symphony Orchestra. My name is Mike Mayton, and my wife Kathy and I have the honor of serving as the trustees of the Stella Boyle Smith Trust. Stella Boyle Smith died at the age of 100 in 1994 after dedicating her life and her resources to the education of children, for health care, and for the love of classical music. In 1923, over 98 years ago, Stella Boyle Smith, in her living room on Ridgeway in Hillcrest, started the musical group which became the Arkansas Symphony Orchestra. The first performance by the Arkansas Symphony Orchestra was in her living room. We are honored to be here today to be a part of this project. It is so exciting and one of the best things we think has ever happened to our state and to our community. Stella Boyle Smith formed the Arkansas Symphony for the main purpose of educating young people about classical music. With this new building, her mission will be accomplished and her dream will come true, because through the doors of this new beautiful building, thousands of children from across our state will come and will be educated and will learn and will become musicians. The love of classical music is what Stella was all about. She will have come full circle with this building. I want everybody here to know, those of you who knew her or those of you who may not have known her, how honored Stella would be that this building is being named for her. And I want to make sure everyone knows how honored the trustees are that this building is being named for Stella. This is a great, great moment for the Arkansas Symphony Orchestra. This is a great moment for our community. It's a great moment for our state. I want to thank each and every one of you who have helped raise the money so far. I want to thank all of you who have given and for those of you who will give. But most of all, I want to thank Stella Boyle Smith. As a woman in 1923, never giving up when people told her it could not be done, and in her living room, starting what became the Arkansas Symphony Orchestra. And for that, Stella, we will be forever grateful. Thank you all so much, and I would like to introduce our Artistic Director, Jeff Robson.
Thank you so much, and I'd like to echo Christina and Mike in saying it's an honor to be here to be part of the presentation of this incredibly important announcement. And my name is Jeffrey Robson. I'm the Artistic Director of the Arkansas Symphony Orchestra. I'm going to tell you just a little bit about the programs that will be encased in this new structure, and then give a little bit of a look into what this building is going to look like. So the ASO is a hub for music education in the state of Arkansas. Players, the orchestra, teachers, students come from every corner of the state, and they're truly all interconnected through their interactions with this organization. The orchestra's players teach at all of the major universities in the state. We have alumni from our youth orchestras who are band directors, who work alongside school orchestra directors who are members of the symphony, and teaching students who currently come to Little Rock to participate in our programs is one of the most important things that we do. The ASO truly is the central hub for music education in the state of Arkansas. But why is music education so important? Yes, we are helping to create the next generation of performers. We have alumni from our programs at major conservatories playing in major orchestras around the country who have sung with the Metropolitan Opera and of course, are spread across the entire state of Arkansas as band directors and orchestra directors. You'll see on this slide some of our recent alumni. Keenan Pete on the left is a violinist who graduated. He's a sophomore at Baylor University at the moment, and he intends to pursue a career in music performance and has played in our youth orchestras, have volunteered for us, has done an incredible amount, and is just driven to succeed, and we know him well. Isabel Crawford on the far right, you see her holding a violin, but she's actually a very accomplished horn player who's a freshman at Vanderbilt, I believe now, and a former student of ASO Principal Horn David Renfro, and is also destined to succeed in music performance. But what's perhaps the most important is the impact that our programs have had on the lives of those who did not go into music. It's interesting always to me how many people in the field of medicine have a background in music. We have alums who are doctors at hospitals like Yale New Haven Hospital and places like Unity Health in Searcy, Arkansas, and numerous places in between. This town is full of alums who do all sorts of things: bankers, lawyers, teachers, development directors at nonprofits, all making a difference in this community. They're concert goers, they're patrons of the arts, and they include some of the ASO's youngest donors. They understand their role in keeping the generational cycle of the arts going. But why are those who engage in music education so likely to succeed throughout life? Yes, music inspires all the parts of the brain, the math side, the creative side. But to me, and Christina has talked a lot about leadership that we inspire, what really sets music education apart and what we do apart is that our programs create leaders who listen. You can't play music without listening, and you can't play with other people without being a self-sufficient leader. The interpersonal and social skills that students acquire taking part in our programs is impossible to unlearn, and they take it with them forever. So all of this being said, why we are here today with this announcement, we're here because facilities are important. Anyone who has recruited for a sports team, a hospital, a school, a bank, a city, they know that facilities are important. The orchestra performs at the Robson Center and will continue to do so, of course, but 90% of the time we're engaging the community in our headquarters, teaching, rehearsing, meeting, socializing. The walls of this structure contain the energy that inspires what happens inside. The location opens up critical access points. The students of Arkansas deserve to learn in a physical environment that is not broken and insufficient. So, let's take a look at what we're talking about. This will be the central area that you'll walk into, a sort of communal space that is open on multiple sides and is right in the very middle of the building. So we'll go to a map of the layout of this marvelous facility. So right in the middle is that open lobby area that you just saw. On the bottom will be the exit to our parking area out here, and at the top is the exit to green space, which is just across 3rd Street, right over there. So on the top left will be the rehearsal hall, which is going to be approximately the size of this room. This will be somewhere for youth orchestras to rehearse, student recitals, social occasions, appearances by guest artists. It will really be a room that is used daily for rehearsals and for different types of events. Yeah, and this is a look inside what this room will look like. It can be set up in many, many different ways. So if we could just go back to the, thank you. So just below it will be storage, and I just want to point out one, just for example, one of the upgrades that this facility will provide, other than being just an amazing facility for creating music. Just to the very left will be a storage spot for the ASO's almost brand new Steinway world-class concert grand piano, generously donated by Pat and Jim Wallace to the orchestra. We have not had a place to store this piano in the time that we've owned it, and finally it will have a dedicated home where it can get the use and love, and we can reap its benefits in the way that we should. In the center of the building, to the right of the lobby, will be our education suite, the Simmons Bank Education Suite. You'll see 4 teaching studios on the bottom with 2 larger classrooms, the largest of which will accommodate up to 20 students for a sectional or for a group class, and greatly increasing our capacity. Currently we have a rehearsal room and a storage room and people's offices available for our hundreds of lessons that we give every week. And so it's not uncommon for members of the staff to literally have to leave at 3 p.m. so that lessons can start. And so this will alleviate that logjam in a extremely helpful way. Right when you walk in from the parking lot, on the left, this will be our recording and streaming studio, where the ASO's full-time quartets will be able to record and broadcast their educational demonstrations and performances to schools in every corner of the state when they might not be able to get there physically in person. And we will also be able to manage recording from some of the other spaces as well. This is, again, an enormous upgrade, and this is a technology that we've invested heavily in being able to utilize during the pandemic, and something we will certainly be continuing, and now we will have dedicated space to be able to do this. To the left of the streaming studio, 8 is a catering kitchen that will assist us in having actual social events. In the future, we could have a press conference, an event like this, in our own space, which is something we have not been able to do before, and so that will assist with that. And now, every organization we expect to grow, and so there is some number 7 there, what we're calling shell space, which is space within the building that is not currently designated for use, but will be designated for future use, and as we continue to grow and need this space. In the climate-controlled instrument storage, there's also a green room, so when we have performances in the hall, there's somewhere for the performers to stay, and there's a little bit of privacy there, again, something we've not had before. So when you pass the reception, back in the lobby, when you pass the reception area and turn to the right, go through the education suite, and then you head into the administrative wing of the building, which will be very well equipped for the administrative staff of the orchestra to have meetings, to work with each other. There will be there's a communal office where some of our education staff who work part-time, like our youth orchestra conductors, our Sturgis Music Academy teachers, our community orchestra conductor, can work, can interact with the music library, can have a space to basically get things done that does not currently exist. There's central meeting areas in the middle, and facilities for the staff. And all in all, I'm just blown away by the thought and the quality that has gone into these designs. And this is exactly what the orchestra has been looking for all of these years. You know, I said to a couple people on my way in, this is a story that has had many chapters. Getting to this point where we can finally move into a space that is dedicated for the use of the Arkansas Symphony Orchestra, for its incredible staff of teachers, musicians, administrators, and think that the future looks very, very bright. So this is truly an exciting day as we announce to the public the capital campaign to finish raising the money for this building. And on that note, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Chris White, Executive Vice President of Simmons Bank, one of our nearest and dearest corporate partners to the Arkansas Symphony Orchestra. So I'll turn things over to Chris. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Mike. Thank you, Christina. Appreciate all those that did come today in attendance. With the pandemic that's going on, this is a great day. It's a great day for the Symphony. It's a great day for Simmons Bank. My name is Chris White. As of last week, I'm the EVP of Metro Market Development for the bank, as well as I'm on the board of the Symphony and have been for years now. Thanks to Christina. You talk about this journey, Jeff, and it has been a journey. I think I officed out of the old tower when we started discussions about this new facility or what this facility might be. And for those of you that hadn't been along on that journey, if you can see what's to come, you know, today is a great day. It's a great day to be here. Simmons in general, Simmons Bank gives back to their communities. We do so in many ways, not only through our bank, but our foundation and Tommy May. And also the Symphony does the same thing. You know, you heard about what the Symphony can do for kids, not only with skill sets, but for me it's leadership and the leaders that you do get down the road. You talked about those that are attending college. I think Ms. Boyle might have funded somewhere around 200 scholarships in her day, so kudos to her and the family. Today, Simmons Bank gets to proudly announce that we are providing a sponsorship, a donation to the Symphony in the amount of $500,000. That money, we'll take that. That money will obviously go towards construction. We're excited. Obviously, we have participated in many buildings that are near and dear to Little Rock and other cities. If you look outside any of these windows, you're going to see the Simmons Bank logo, and obviously our chairman, George, wants to make sure that we're a part of the communities. Today, as Christina said, Mike as well, and Jeff, we really want to invite leaders, organizations, mentors, individuals to join this campaign and get us to the dollar that we can get to and be debt-free towards the end of this campaign. I couldn't be excited more about sharing what Simmons Bank is doing with the Symphony. And with that said, Christine, I'm going to turn it back over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Mike. Thank you all again for joining us today to learn about this exciting project for ASO in our city and our state. When COVID hit, our calm, courageous board chair, Jan Hunley, set the tone, and ASO kept everyone employed, balanced its budget, served children music lessons. We heard from any number of our parents. Thank you to Ms. Williams, Catherine Williamson, Joanna for providing those lessons because it gave those kids a life raft during COVID. It gave them somebody they could count on that would be there. You saw a lot of the videos of the youth orchestra. We managed to continue to try to serve our children as best as we could during COVID. We also performed locally, outside in different venues, but on the national scene and even international community. People in over 30 countries watched musicians of ASO with our Bedtime with Bach series. When we went to raise money for this building during this time, people asked us if this was really a good time to raise money for the Stella Boyle Smith Music Center. And what the last 2 years has taught us is that there is a real need and urgency for the Music Center. We changed our current building into a streaming studio during COVID, and students used it as a place to videotape their college audition tapes. Quartets made music and math, music and art videos so that music teachers from across our state would still have access to something to show their children. We also did a stream of our children's concerts, and 23,000 children from across our state were able to watch it from 33 different counties across our state. They watched Peter and the Wolf, but they also watched a young student violinist from Crossit, solo with the ASO in the children's concerts. So streaming adds a real value and a way for us to be accessible to the entire state. And that's what this new building will provide for us. And we also learned that people in our city, in our state, need our musicians and need music, and they need ASO in their lives. Annual fund giving was at an all-time high, and I believe it was because it was to keep our full-time musicians employed. People wanted to make sure that the orchestra was here when this was over. ASO was recognized in Washington Post and Kelly Clarkson for its work. The Stella Boyle Smith Center is needed, is wanted, and the future of the ASO is also needed and wanted. Yeah, it was so great during COVID, and I do want to just say thank you to Simmons Bank, to the Stella Boyle Smith Trust, and to all of you that continue to give so that we could be here and be just as strong after COVID. The generous spirit reflected in the orchestra, the board, the staff, the guilds, and the community will create this transformative music center and positively impact generations of Arkansans. Thank you again for being here today. Thank you for your commitment to serving and creating opportunities for thousands of children and developing amazing leaders for today and tomorrow. That concludes our press announcement. For those of you that are here, we can go on the patio and I can actually show you the spot where our building will be built. And we also will be available for any follow-up questions. Thank you again.